Section 8 of Nuggets of the New Thought by William Walker Atkinson. Forget it. Why worry about the past, hugging old sorrows to your bosom? What to do with them? Don't poison your life. Pain brings experience. Learning your lesson. How to get rid of a gloomy thought? Throw it away. Forget it. One can often get some useful lesson from the slang and current phrases of the day. There is something particularly attractive to me about slang and the pat phrases that are passed along from one to another on the streets. Many of these phrases condense in a few words certain practical truths that one could use as a basis for a sermon, an essay, or even a book. They are the practical experiences of the people, crystallized in a catchy phrase. The phrase which I hear so frequently on the street just now, "forget it," seems to me to contain much practical common sense, and if people would put it into practice, there would be many more brighter faces, many more lighter hearts. What's the use, anyhow, of carrying around a long face or a heavy heart, just because away back in the past something went wrong with us, or even if we went wrong ourselves, and most of us have. I know. What's the use? Forget it. Of course, you will not forget the experiences of the past, and you do not want to. That's one of the things we are living for, gaining experience. When we have once really learned a thing through experience, we never forget it. It is a part of us. But why bother about the memory of the pain, the mortification, the slip-up, the heartache, the wounded feelings, the misplaced confidence, the thing done in the wrong way, the chance you let slip by, the folly, the sin, the misery, the might-have-beens, and all the rest? Oh, what's the use? Forget it, I say. Forget it. If one is to worry about all the things that went wrong, all the things that didn't come right in the past, if he has to take out each memory every day, and after carefully dusting it off, fondle and caress it and hug it close to his bosom, if he has to raise up these ghosts from the past, these phantoms of long ago, these musty, moth-eaten things, why, he will have no time for the affairs of today. He will lose all the joy of the now, all the pleasure of life of the moment, all the interest in the things of today. Oh dear, dear, what's the use? Forget it! Forget it! Some people are not happy unless they have some old, faded sorrow hung up close to their bosoms, and they feel guilty if they happen to smile and forget the old thing for even a moment. Oh, how they do gloat over their own revamped unhappiness! How they enjoy the relieving of the pains and sorrows, mistakes and ignorance of years gone by! How they love to hold the fox to their sides and let it eat out their heart! These people are really happy in the unhappiness, and life would not be worth living if they were deprived of their pet sorrows. Of course, if these people are really happy because they are unhappy, I have no objection. Every man or woman has the right to pursue happiness in his or her own way, and I suppose that that is as good a way as any other, and I should not find fault if somebody else's way is different from mine. But doesn't it seem like a pity to see people wasting their time, energy, thoughts, and life on these old sorrows? If they must think of the past, why not think of the bright things that came into their lives, instead of the dark ones? Think of the moments of happiness, not of the moments of sorrow. Don't make a tomb of your mind. Don't let that particular painful experience poison your present life. Don't do it. Don't do it. What's the use? Forget it. Every bit of pain that has happened you has brought its experience to you. You are better, wiser, and broader for it. Look at it in that way, and you will cease to mourn and wail and wring your hands over the fact that in the past you have done those things which you ought not to have done, and have left undone those things which you ought to have done. Nonsense. You have gained the experience and know better now. If you were placed back in the same old position and lacked the experience that you have gained by just such things, you would do the same old thing over again, and in the same old way. You couldn't help it, because you would be the same old person. What you would like to do would be to be placed back in the same position and face the same old temptation or problem, but you would want to take with you the experience you have gained by your former mistake. You want the cake and the penny at the same time. You want the experience without the pain. Oh, yes, you do. Now that's just what you want. I have been through it myself and know all about it. You have gained the experience. Be satisfied. Some day you will need that experience, and will be glad you have it, and will see that it was worth all you have paid for it. No, you don't see it that way? Well, maybe you haven't had enough of it, haven't learned your lesson yet. If that is the case, some of these days the law will drop you back into the pot until you're well done. The law is not satisfied with underdone people. Oh, you're making a big mistake. Forget it. Forget it. The people who carry these old things around with them generally get themselves into the mental attitude that draws other things of the same sort to them. Misery likes company, and a miserable thought also likes companionship, and almost always manages to attract some other miserable thing to it, to keep it from being lonesome. The only way to get rid of a thought of this kind is to forget it. Now, if you have some pet thing that is gnawing out your vitals, is corroding your heart, is poisoning your mind, take it out and look at it for the last time. Give it a last long lingering gaze. Kiss it good-bye. Weep over it if you like, for this is the last you will see of it. Then throw open the window of your mind and pitch it out into the outer darkness. Forget it. End of section 8.